How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Salamander Wilds and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I want to try and show how to actually find salamanders out in the wild. How to actually know what you're looking for, how to find them, when to find them. I'm actually often asked, where do I find all these animals? And there's actually salamanders really in some of the least likely places, but if you know where to look, you'll probably find a salamander, even if it's a common redback salamander or a two-line salamander. I definitely find plenty of those. So I'm gonna just take the time to actually show how I find these salamanders. And one of the first things you need to do, of course, is actually know what is in your area. You may have some really great habitats all around, but if you're just looking, you could definitely stumble upon something, but you also might not find what you're actually looking for. So it definitely helps to know what's in the area, but you also have to study the habitat that these animals live in. And I'm gonna go through all those details. So we're gonna get started. This is the first stop here, this patch of forest, but within this forest, there's a particular habitat. So without further ado, let's get to it. And if you enjoy the video, please remember to leave a like, share, comment down below. And of course, please subscribe. Your support is always very much appreciated. And don't forget to also check out the Salamander Wilds Facebook page, Instagram, and Discord server. So here's the first stop. We have this nice patch of forest, but there's a few key details here that I'm going to use to determine which salamander could live here. And just from looking around right away, there's the potential for redback salamanders, but if I look closely, there's some other details. This type of moss. This is sphagnum moss, and another type of salamander lives in an environment that is rich in sphagnum moss and sort of marshy areas. So those key details tells me that there is the potential for four-toe salamanders as well. And upon closer inspection, we can see that yes, this is indeed a marshy area, right? We have some sitting water right here, and we have some more moss, right? And that's perfect. But we also have some things to flip. So we'll need to flip a few things to also find the salamander that I'm looking for. So my first target is the four-toe salamander. And this standing body of water is inhabited as well. This is a vernal pool. I have gone over what that is in the Spotted Salamander documentary. I will leave the link to that video in the description below as well. But just quickly, because it is helpful to know that vernal pools are absolutely critical to other salamanders, such as spotted salamanders and marbled salamanders or other types of mole salamanders. So these are details that really help tremendously if you study their habitat, and if you see these details, you can start to form an idea of what you might find nearby. So I'm going to start flipping a few things, knowing that we have this sphagnum moss, marshy sort of boggy area here. I'm hoping that I can find a four-toe salamander. Now, I know they live here because I've been here before and I did find one. But again, if you study what is in your area and you look for the habitats, that is the first thing that you need to do to determine if you're gonna find any of these salamanders that you're looking for. Yep, four-toe, right there, four-toe. Look at that. And a centipede, when we get him out of there. What did I just say? What did I just say? Look at that. That is a nice one. Wow. Actually, this is the smallest one that I have found so far. That is pretty crazy. And it's amazing how docile it really is. So I'm going to, of course, get this animal set up to do some photography and some really nice quality video to get a better look at this really beautiful animal. Look at that. And just as I was talking about finding a four-toe salamander right underneath this branch, what do you know? And this is actually smaller. Really just looking at this in fine detail here. Compared to the other one, this is definitely smaller than the second four-toe. So this actually makes the third four-toe salamander that I've ever seen in my entire life. Where I'm from, they are supposedly common, but the first one I ever found was actually in 2022. So they don't seem to be all that common, but this is the third one. And you know, part of the issue when it comes to finding any animal, not just salamanders, of course, you have to make sure that there's actually a breeding population in the area. So you can find the habitat, but if there's no breeding population, of course, then they won't be there. So I'm gonna put this little fella back. This is really, really incredible. But you could tell, actually, look at that perfect view of the back leg. This is actually how it gets its name, because there are only 4 toes on the foot of the hind legs, whereas most salamanders actually have 5. So that is absolutely wonderful. I love it. That's incredible. So, oh, there he went. All right, so after finding that first four-toe salamander, there's still a lot more to flip over here. So I definitely want to take the time to do that. And there's definitely the potential for spotted salamanders, possibly. I know that they are here because there were some eggs in the vernal pool the last time that I came here. They probably hatched, so I don't think they have transitioned to land just yet. But there is always that possibility. Maybe I could find a juvenile, maybe from last year or something, you know, hiding out. All right, last 2, 3, I guess. Anything. Oh, spotted salamander. Spotted salamander. That's a big one. Wow. Oh. Wow. Oh, wow. And here I was just saying earlier too, the possibility of a spotted salamander. And I really thought that was going to be the least likely animal to find, because breeding season is done. It's over. It is over. Wow, look how beautiful it is. This, this actually might be a male. It might be. I'm looking at that cloaca. It looks a little large, but you see, outside of breeding season, when the cloaca is no longer enlarged, it is a little more difficult to tell. I'm looking at the body. It doesn't seem to be as slender. So, you know, it's a little difficult. So I'm not going to make a determination one way or the other on this one, but this is a beautiful find. Of course, I'm going to get some video. Of course, I'm going to get some photos. So let me just set it down in a nice spot, and then of course I will let it go exactly where I found it. Wow, look at this awesome salamander. You know, I don't think I've ever actually found an adult like this outside of breeding season. So, not underneath of me. Let's try that one more time. I'm not gonna keep you out long because I don't want to stress you out, but that is amazing. Incredible. All it wants to do is just hide, so, you know, I'm gonna just get one nice look at it, and yeah. I'm gonna put you back. Come here. It's okay. You're okay. You are okay. Let me put you back exactly where I found you. And there it goes. I don't want to stress it out. I don't have water on me. I mean, there's water obviously there, but I don't want to dry it out either. That was absolutely incredible. Found a 4-toe and an adult spotted salamander, and can't get any better than that. I was not expecting the spotted at all in this video. I just wanted to really show maybe an easier find to maybe something a little more difficult. The 4-toe I thought was gonna be the most difficult, but you know, I will quickly mention, just because I didn't get to really say it in my excitement while looking at that spotted salamander. With spotted salamanders, even though I did find one, I mentioned breeding season, but most of the time outside of breeding season, they're gonna be underground. How did I know? Besides the fact that I knew there were spotted salamander eggs in the vernal pool. First thing that you need is a vernal pool. And then of course, the terrestrial habitat where I just found the adult. The spotted salamander larvae, they hatch in eggs that are laid in the water. And then once these larvae grow, they will lose their feathery gills that they use to breathe in the water. And then they will no longer be suitable to live in an aquatic environment. They will come out onto land and live out the rest of their lives. So, if you put all that together, you should be able to start to spot these environments, and then just do a little searching. You know, again, you're gonna have to get dirty, you're gonna have to get muddy, you're gonna have to get wet, but that is all part of looking for, I think, honestly, a lot of these salamanders. So now what we have here is another forest habitat, right? But we're not looking at a marshy, boggy area. Very little moss, but we have some, right? But not the marshy kind of moss. So this is definitely more of a terrestrial habitat. It's not waterlogged. We're not going to be seeing spotted salamanders here. There's no vernal pools. So this type of environment will be great for terrestrial salamanders such as redback salamanders, slimy salamanders, and a few others. Now, I also already know what's here because I've been here plenty of times. So what I'm going to do is, knowing that there are redbacks here, I can use the knowledge of its habitat and knowing that they are supposed to be in the area, and then just start looking around. So obviously from before, I was doing a bit of flipping, and I'm gonna do the same thing here as well. This is gonna fall apart. There might be termites or something under here. Let's see. Oh, there's a redback. Yep, right there. Right there. Oh, come on. All right, almost lost that one, but that is a redback salamander. And see, we got some ants there too, so I want to be careful of that. But you know, it'll take a few flips before you find something more likely. But this is a redback salamander, very small one, completely terrestrial from the moment of birth. Before I almost lost this little fella. This is a redback salamander, a juvenile, very small. They are lungless, meaning they breathe through their skin. These salamanders in particular do come in two different color morphs. The one with the red stripe on the back that you can see here. And then, if we get lucky, we might find the other, the leadback color morph, which is a sort of charcoal grayish color altogether with that white speckling along the body, but it lacks the red stripe completely. So, again, looking at the terrestrial habitat that we have in this forest here, you will definitely start to get an idea of the salamanders that you can find in a habitat like this, the more you do this sort of thing. Look at this. We have this water seeping down into the stream there, and then more water seeping from up there. So this is actually really fantastic. I'm gonna check, ooh, gotta be careful. I'm gonna check right over here for some two-line salamanders. I should definitely get lucky here. This looks like actually something really good to flip too. So let's see what happens. What do we got? Anything? Anything at all? Nothing, huh? That's actually very surprising. That's very surprising. Okay. Well, anything under this? Come on. Nothing under this either. Wow. All right. And how about this? Yep, there we go. Yep, got it. This one I got. Nope. Where'd you go? There you are. All right. Whew. Very beautiful. See that sort of sandy, almost bronze, like yellowish color, and then it lightens up by the tail. But let's just make sure you don't get away, because I want to put you back where I found you. There it is. Look at that. And this really just goes to show you how many different kinds of salamanders can be found in a very close radius to one another, as long as the habitat is right. So let me put this little fella back. I don't want to keep stressing it out. I don't want to dry it out either. So I think I accomplished what I was trying to do here. And yeah, I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. Careful. Let's flip this back first, if I can. That definitely took quite a bit to do. It's okay. There we go, just like that. And that one's back. Put that back. And put that back. Yeah. That is what it takes to find salamanders. So at this point, I am definitely going to wrap up the video here. As you could tell, it really just takes getting to know the salamander itself. What is that salamander about? The one that you are trying to find. Where does it live? How does it live? And once you put those puzzle pieces together and you start to know more about that animal, you'll know where to look by heart eventually. You just got to really know what's in your area. So that's how you search for salamanders. Know the habitat and just do your research on that animal. Where do they live? How do they live? What do they look like? Of course, right? So with that being said and done, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm going to wrap it up here. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment down below. Please subscribe, of course. Your support is always very much appreciated. And until next time, everyone, I hope you'll all join me for another adventure into the salamander wilds.